You know, every single company out there is trying to stand out from the crowd. We're pouring tons of money into clever marketing, big ad campaigns, but what if we're looking in completely the wrong place? Today, we're going to dig into a pretty radical idea that your most powerful marketing tool isn't your slogan or your logo. It's your company culture. So let's see how that actually works. To really get this, I want to start with a story. So there's a woman. She's got a pest problem. She calls an exterminator. He comes, does the job, and leaves. A few weeks later, the bugs are back. And honestly, she can't even remember the guy's name. So she calls someone new. This second exterminator also comes, does the job, but he leaves behind a single red rose. Now, who do you think she's going to call next time? And maybe more importantly, who is she going to tell all her friends about? That simple red rose wasn't just a nice touch. It was unforgettable marketing, and it was born from a culture of going that extra mile. And that, right there, leads to the big question for every business owner out there. What is your red rose? It's a tough one, right? It's so easy to fall back on the same old lines. Oh, we have the best service, or we have the best people. But do you really? And how can you prove it? Look, the bottom line is your differentiator can't just be something you say. It has to be who you are. And that brings us to the absolute heart of what we're talking about today. The answer to your marketing problem? Well, it isn't in the marketing department. It's in your company culture. I love this slide because it lays it all out so perfectly. Just think of your brand and your culture as two sides of the very same coin. Your brand, that's the outside-in view. It's the promise you're making to your customers. But your culture, that's the inside-out reality. It's how your team actually lives and breathes and keeps that promise day in and day out. So this link between the inside and the outside, we call that a brand promise. And this isn't just a marketing tagline. It's a real, genuine commitment to the experience your customers are going to have. And here's the kicker. That commitment can only be delivered over and over again if it's deeply rooted in your internal culture. Without that strong culture, a brand promise is really just empty words. It's hot air. So what happens when there's a disconnect? Well, let me tell you about Julio. He was a top executive, almost 10 years with the company, but his company's culture just didn't value employee development, and they refused to help pay for his online MBA. So what did he do? He left. Now, the company saved a little cash on tuition, sure, but what did they lose? A decade of expertise. They damaged team morale. The lesson here is crystal clear. A culture that doesn't invest in its people can't possibly deliver a premium experience to its customers. All right, so if culture is the engine, how do we make sure it's actually tuned up and running smoothly? We need a system, right? A way to make sure our team is firing on all cylinders. And that's where this framework called PAVE comes into play. PAVE is all about putting the right people in the right seats. And it does that by asking 4 simple but super powerful questions about everyone on your team. First, P for passion. Do they genuinely love the work? A for aptitude. Are they naturally good at it? V for vision. Is what they're doing actually helping drive the company's long-range vision forward? And finally, E for empathy. Does this job fit their natural personality, or are they having to fake it all day just to get by? The ultimate goal here is to get your employees into what's called their competitive edge strength fit. Think of it like this. It's that magic sweet spot where their passion, their talent, and their personality all line up perfectly with the company's vision. And the target is to have them spending about 75% of their time in this zone. Because when they do, their impact on the business is just absolutely massive. Let's look at a real-world example. Meet Bridget. She's a business owner who loved selling, but was just getting buried in administrative work. By applying this kind of thinking, she delegated about half of those admin tasks. And what happened? Well, it freed her up to focus on her true passion and aptitude, going out and opening huge new accounts. This was a total game changer for the company. That's PAVE in action. Okay, so let's pause for a second. You've tuned your internal engine. Your people are in the right spots. Your culture is humming along. Now, and only now, are you ready to craft an external message that's not just powerful, but is totally and completely authentic? Which brings us right back to the most important question in business, period. You have to be able to answer this. Why should I do business with you and not one of your many, many competitors? You have to have a clear and compelling answer. And the answer to that question? That's your unique value proposition, your UVP. And no, this is not just another clever slogan. It's a clear, structured statement that explains exactly why a customer should choose you. And it's built on the real strengths you've cultivated inside your company. So let's actually build one right now, using a real example from the alternative board, or TAB. Step 1. You have to define who you're for, your target market with laser precision. You can't be everything to everyone. So for Tab, it's specifically for the owners and CEOs of privately owned businesses. Okay, step 2. What's their big problem? What's the thing that's keeping them up at night? For Tab's audience, it's that feeling of isolation at the top and the need for some real accountability to help them stay on track. Next up, you gotta say what you are. Plain and simple, no fancy jargon, what's the category? For Tab, it's a business owner advisory board service. Straightforward. All right, so what's the big payoff? What's the key benefit they're gonna get? With Tab, their clients get fresh perspectives from other owners, practical advice, and that crucial accountability they need to actually get things done. Now, this next part is so important. You have to name the alternative. What are customers comparing you to in their heads? Tab makes it really clear. We are unlike traditional business consultants. They're offering something totally different. And finally, you bring it all home with your secret sauce. This is what makes you different, and it's born from your unique culture. Tab's differentiator? We help business owners make better decisions, get things done, and run their businesses more strategically. See how when you put all those pieces together, you have this incredibly clear, compelling pitch? So let's step back and put all these pieces together, right? What we're learning is that real marketing isn't about shouting the loudest. It's about having an authentic story to tell. And that story has to start from the inside out. It's a pretty simple chain of logic, and it all starts from the inside. Your culture is just how your employees live out your values every day. Your brand, then, is how your customers get to experience those values. You build a strong culture by making sure your people are aligned, using that PAVE framework. And that strong culture is what allows you to build a truly authentic UVP. So at the end of the day, effective marketing is just telling that true internal story to the outside world. But listen, there is one last thing we absolutely have to be clear about. Your red rose is not a gimmick. It is not a substitute for having a great product or a competent service. You still have to be excellent at what you do. This secret sauce, this differentiator, it's the amplifier. It makes you memorable and remarkable on top of an already solid foundation. And that really leaves us with just one big question for you to think about. I want you to take a hard, honest look at your business. Is the story you're telling your customers in all your marketing the exact same story your employees are living inside your company every single day? If the answer is yes, then you've found your secret engine.